So I'm gonna go.
All right. Oh, that's not an attractive picture of me. Okay. Is the audio coming through at all?
Let me check. Yeah, the audio's coming through.
Okay.
Try actually say something again.
Again.
Yep, it works.
All right. So we have just started a live. Hello. So, like we have done before, I am streaming both on TikTok and on YouTube because TikTok does not allow certain words that we need to use to be able to speak about our experiences. Okay, now you can see more of my boobs and less of my 5 head. Hello, I've missed you too. All right, so hi Ash. Okay, so I was going to make a sign with a piece of paper with the website and everything on it. Apple is here as backup on both screens to answer any questions that you may have that may get dropped. So let's get started with the big news. Schmonly schmans. Schmonly schmans. Oh my gosh, everybody has been freaking out about schmonly schmans, which I cannot actually say on TikTok. All right, so let's see. We've got 15 people here now. Has anyone gotten a lot of their income from schmonly schmans? Is anyone freaking out about that? Because I have been getting lots and lots and lots of private messages by people who are completely freaked out because schmonly schmans makes up a majority of their income, 90% plus of their income, and during the ban, and then, oh, haha, just kidding, we realized that would bankrupt us. They did reverse the ban, but deplatforming is coming. This is not the first time this has happened, so I wanted to tell all of the younger people how this is going to go down. This is not the first time it's happened. This is not the last time it's happened. It's just the only time I've seen it happen where it hit the mainstream news. I don't know why you're here either. Maybe it is to improve the state of our souls so that we can escape this cycle of rebirth. Or maybe we just want to learn about how to make money. With things like schmonly schmans. Yes, spicy accounting. Okay, so I need to. Apple, do you have the link to send people to the YouTube stream?
Yeah.
Okay, so spicy accounting is sort of a joke term about how you tell your grandmother how you make a lot of money during the pandemic when really you're on sites like Onlyfans selling pictures of your feet. Schmonly schmans. And I am a old school accountant. I've been doing it for longer than most of the girls who are doing it right now have been alive. So I actually have children who are legally old enough to drink. So I have been doing this a long time. So let's start a little bit about talking about what is deplatforming. And that is when a platform decides they don't like our dirty, dirty SW money. Or rather, when usually MasterCard and Visa pressure them to not accept our money anymore. And here's a couple of things that I want people to know about what is likely to happen with Schmonlyfans if they follow the same sort of steps that all of the other platforms I've seen do this follow. So the first thing they're going to be doing is they're going to revise their terms of service a lot, very quietly, when they think nobody's looking. And what you're allowed to do is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. I am alive! I'm alive! So, and they're going to do it quietly. They're not going to just be like, okay, you can't do this anymore. They're going to change the terms of service and then start banning you from it, for it. And they're not going to do it to the big people first. They're going to go after the low-hanging fruit. Thank you. So they're going to go after the smaller performers before they start going after the big performers, because what they want is they want to keep their revenue numbers up, but they want to start cleansing the platform. I'm going to go ahead and invite Jake to join us. So they're going to, they're going to start saying, oh, well, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And they're going to change the terms of service at like 2 o'clock in the morning and then ban a bunch of people. They're also going to do some kind of hinky stuff where they're just going to start messing with your payouts. And one of the other things they're going to do is they're going to start increasing the percentage they take from adult performers. So industry average for running adult, like how OnlyFans got in this position. Adult credit card processing generally costs about 27%. And if you paid attention or been on OnlyFans, you know that they charge the performer 20%. And if you sign up through somebody else, they give 5% off of the top, not from the performer's cut, to whoever referred that performer, right? So they're at 25% before they cover their platform credit card fees, right? That which is bad. So how they've been doing it is they've been like, oh, well, we're not really an adult platform. It just happens to be here. And they were making enough money that the credit card processors let it slide. All of this is conjecture just from having been in the industry forever because I'm old as fuck. So nobody at OnlyFans has told me this. This is just me being like, okay, this is going to work. And this is also why a lot of the older and more established adult workers would not go on OnlyFans, because that model doesn't make any sense to us, because we know credit card processing is 27%. And if they're giving 25% out before they even process their credit cards, it's not a sustainable model, which is a big deal. So what they're going to do is they're going to try to squeeze the adult performers off quietly because of all the pushback that they got from trying to ban adult from the platform, which means they're going to start messing with you. They're going to mess with us. So what you need to do to protect yourself is you need to get on multiple platforms. There are already people who are like, if you're on any of the message boards for our industry, people are like, hey, join this one, join this one, join this one. They're flooded right now. They are really struggling with the onslaught. One of them, which I will talk about later on the YouTube, not here, because I cannot mention the names of the platforms on here, has had 1,000% increase in new performers signing up. So they're behind on their age verifications. They're behind on everything. And Ash on YouTube, if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. And everybody go ahead and type any questions that you have. I know I'm sort of info dumping this. So so they're going to start squeezing the small performers out. They're going to start banning things that currently make a lot of money, and they're going to end up trying to sanitize the platform because of external pressure. And also, Visa and MasterCard do not want them to take adult. Credit card transactions are high-risk transactions. They don't like it. They don't want to deal with it, which is why they charge so freaking much. So, when the platform that you're making the majority of your income through starts becoming unstable, and this has happened to me twice, you need to start putting your content on a lot of different platforms. I'm not talking about one or two. You need like 20 or 30 backup sites. And here is why you need so many. There's something called the 80-20 rule. And if you put your content on all of the platforms that may make sense for your content to go on, you'll notice this, that you'll have one platform is giving you about 80% of your income, and the rest combined are giving you about 20% of your income. So you need to know which platforms are already making you money that you can really focus on to replace that big boy when it goes down. And this is just smart to have anyway. Ash has a great question. She asks, would I consider writing erotica part of the industry? Hell yeah. It is absolutely a big part of the industry. Writing descriptions is a big part of how you sell content. It is a little trickier to sell erotica as your primary form of income, but there are always people looking to purchase scripts to perform, especially for audio recordings. And the current model for making the most money seems to be extremely niche, 99-cent ebooks on Amazon. That seems to be what makes the most income with the writing. Yes, I am discussing OnlyFans, Pink. What questions do you have? Only Schmans. I can't say the platform. Well, they're not technically an adult platform. Maybe I can get away with it. I know. I said it. I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to. I don't want the TikTok. I don't want to go in TikTok jail again. They keep throwing me in jail. I've never ended up in jail before. I'm a sweet and innocent person, full of light and sunshine and bunny rabbits. Oh, the panty business. I broke my butt. Yep, I broke my butt. So I bought all of the panties to sell for the panty selling business, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures of my booty. I gotta like get on top of that and go to the gym. Hey, Ildy. And so I went to the gym and started doing booty exercises, and I ended up with the middle of my butt getting firmer and the rest sort of staying the same. So I ended up with a butt that looked like a W, and it was not photogenic. So I've been hitting the gym really, really hard to try to fix my butt. It's mostly there. It's mostly there so that I can take those pictures. And but I already have 6 or 7 people trying to buy from me. So in the marketing guide, I talk about how to like set up the listings, and that's been working. So I already have orders, even though I don't have any pictures. Pink asks, are they reconsidering the adult content ban? So they backed up off of it, but this has happened before. This happened before with Keen and Night Flirt when AT&T, which is headquartered in the Deep South, decided to purchase their platform. And it's happened multiple times. What's going to happen is they're going to try to squeeze adult creators off by rapidly changing the terms of service and booting the lower the lower money performers off, the ones that aren't as big. And they're also probably going to start increasing the rates that they take. So they're going to, pushing us off publicly backfired on them. So they're going to just try it slower and quieter. Because the business reasons for them to push us off their platform have not changed. Ash asks, what booty exercises? A lot of hip thrusts. A lot of weighted hip thrusts. A lot of glute bridges. Crab walks with bands. Kettlebell swings. Yeah, my butt's looking better than it has in like 20 years though, so I got that going for me. Just wish it didn't take me 4 months to fix the dent I put in my butt cheeks. This is blueberry lemonade. Any advice for the, okay, this is actually a really interesting question. Any advice for a non-adult OnlyFans account? Yes. Apple just glared at me for saying it, but we're talking about non-adult topics, so I think I'm safe. Okay. Lots of advice. So one thing is make sure you are on other platforms too. I'm sorry. So you have to make sure you're on other platforms because you cannot rely on one platform for the majority of your income. You just can't. So if you're doing that, I would also strongly suggest that you set some stuff up on like Udemy, which is a really good platform for selling like tutorial packages. So like do tutorials on like a particular type of manicure or a particular type of like nail application, and then set those up on Udemy and find other platforms. There are a lot of platforms for selling. If you're like a professional nail tech, there are a lot of platforms for like teaching upskills and continuing education credits. Try to get certified on those because you never know when Schmonly Schmans might collapse. It doesn't matter that they're $1 billion company. I mean, smaller scale. But I've had multi-million-dollar platforms just vanish overnight. I've had platforms where I was making $2,000-$3,000 a month easily, month in, month out, gone. All that income gone, and I'm sitting here struggling trying to figure out how I'm going to make my car payment this month. So you cannot trust and you cannot rely on a platform. They don't care about you. Do not be loyal to a corporation that does not care about you. So I'll say this to the YouTube people too. Do not be loyal to a corporation that does not care about you. Don't do it. Because they will absolutely turn on you the moment it is convenient or profitable. And since you are in a non-adult niche, Pink, I would also suggest that you look up paid advertising. You want to spend about 10% of anything that you're earning on advertisement, 10 to 20%. So Pink, about how much are you making for the teaching meals? I'll wait for her to pop up. But with a niche like that, I would suggest you look into things like Snapchat ads because it's possible to start campaigns for like $5. Corrine, yes, spicyaccountants.com. We have a program to help you get started. Right now we have 8 hours of virtual assistant time. You can buy it in a block of 8 hours to help you transfer your content from Schmonly Schmans to other platforms. We have a list of over 50 vetted platforms for both earning money and marketing on. We have a getting started guide that goes through, if you purchase the platform list, it goes through all of the platforms and how to set up all of your accounts and make sure that your payments processing is set up correctly in all the accounts. So there's a lot there. And we're also going to start doing weekly group coaching sessions and one-on-ones with both me and Apple because she has a very different perspective than I do. And I think it's important. We both make money, but we do it very different ways. All right, Pink says that she makes $25 a month. She has 6 subs, so $125 a month. So you need to be spending $12 to $15 minimum on advertising. Honestly, since you only have 6 subs, I would up that. You need to have at least $100 in ad spend to see if the ad gets to enough people. You need to have at least 100 impressions. That's sort of a minimum to see if people respond to the ads. So I think Snapchat would probably be a good place for you, and also TikTok. You can actually advertise on TikTok if it's not adult. Corrine, thank you. We are out of beta now, so people can join the program. We don't have to keep people out because we have. When I say we battle tested it, it's sort of like we got dragged through by our hair through the worst through the worst beta process I've been part of in a long time. It was brutal, but we're there and everything is working. Oh, Pink, I'll definitely be more careful about not saying schmonly schmans. M on YouTube asks, if for someone who has no spicy counts at all yet and no experience, would I still recommend our service or should we start small? Honestly, our service is set up for people who are new. There are other people who focus on getting you from like 5,000 a month to 10,000 a month. We are really, really focused on helping beginners. So we have a program where we will make your accounts for you. We will also give you we also have a thing where there is a list where you can just buy the list and build the accounts out yourself. There's a cheat sheet on what will, what content they accept on what platforms. And then another cheat sheet attached to that, it tells you what format. So like if there's a platform that takes pictures, it tells you, you can do it in PNG, you can do it in GIF, you can't do it in this format. If you're doing videos, it tells you what formats. It gives you customer service connection for all of them. It tells you what the payouts are, what the payout minimums are. A lot of these places, you have to make at least like $100 for them to pay you out. And also what the terms of service breaches are, because different platforms have different things that are against the rules. Corrine, yes, we started several months ago, and then it was like, we should absolutely make a movie about what happened. Like, it was nuts. We still don't know if our head developer is alive or dead. They were in a city that became part of a war zone and they vanished. So like, oh yeah, it's been insane. It has been absolutely crazy. Corrine, yeah, if you have content, that just makes it easier. Oh yeah, like our email, we've had just nonstop problems with our email. We had somebody come through and delete a bunch of our trouble tickets, so we've been trying to call everybody on the phone to like make sure that we haven't missed anything and nothing's slipped through the cracks. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Angel baby. Hey, Angel baby. How you doing? So, Em, do you have any other particular questions about getting started? Go ahead and type them out. But yeah, we gotta. You can't rely on a single platform. You can't. It is dangerous because we aren't out here doing this for funsies. We're doing this because we got bills to pay and we got mouths to feed. And there ain't nothing in this world for free. So there's your Cage the Elephant quote for the hour. So you absolutely have to diversify your platform. And while we were testing out a bunch of the platforms, Apple actually like showed how important this is. Because one of the platforms that we were just testing, she put a bunch of her content in and we went back in to check some of the settings and she'd made $60 on old content. It was awesome. So it's nice where if you like are developing that content library to get that passive income, because this wasn't something she was even paying attention to, and it literally took 3 minutes to get it set up. Well, setting up the account took forever, but uploading those particular files didn't take long at all. Cash flow is king. Okay, so I'm a business nerd. I actually have a degree in it, and my vanilla job for a long time was business consulting, which is why I sound like a giant egghead nerd. Awesome. Thank you so much, Corrine. So you want to, like, when you guys first get started out, if you're going the easy way, most of your money comes from live performance. I see your question, Em, and I'll get to you after I make this point. So most of your money comes from live performance, but your big money and the long-term money comes from a content catalog where you basically find a specialization. So you need to find a specialty. And then you need to be like the person in that specialty. Like there could be other people there, but you need to be like one of the experts. It's like there are other top chefs than Gordon Ramsay, but when you hear Gordon Ramsay, you're like, oh yeah, he's the guy. So you need to become the guy for your niche. And then you need to make a bunch of content for that. And you can remix the content. So you can make one piece of content, remix it 10 different ways, get 10 pieces of content from it. We talk about that in the course. So what you need to do at that point is make sure that you have a pretty consistent content creation schedule, which is something I've absolutely failed at for you guys. I apologize. So you need to have a fairly consistent content creation schedule, and you need to get a couple hundred pieces of content per niche, per specialty. And then you need to put it on all of these different sites. And like I said, right now we have 50 vetted sites. Those are basically sites that I use, have made some money on. Some of the big sites are not on the vetted list. They're underneath because I haven't had time to set the accounts up, or I haven't personally made money from them, or I don't know anybody who's made money from them. Like people who I have an established relationship with that I talk to. So there's some good sites on the evaluation list, and I think all combined we have like 80 to 100 because I delete places off that list constantly. So I think we have like 80 to 100 on that list. So you want to get on all of those platforms that you possibly can that possibly fit you, and then you put that content everywhere because all of the platforms have a different user base. And then as your catalog gets bigger, the percentage of your income coming from live performance to purchase content is going to start shifting. And you really want it to get to like 80% purchase content. That's the goal. Because that way if something happens and you vanish for 2 or 3 months, you're still making 80% of your money. And that is 75% is where disability insurance usually is. So you want to make sure that like if something happens and you get hurt, or something happens and you're not available, you're still at least getting enough money to cover all of your bills. And that's why that number, that 75 to 80% from your passive income, that's why that's the goal. Okay. There's actually a video on YouTube that I've done where I go through showing you exactly how I do my market research. I use a tool called Keywords Everywhere, and for $10, you will never ever run out of keywords. And I show you how you basically pick. You basically go through and you just have a list of words, and then you see what works, and you start filling out a spreadsheet. And you find the ones that are sort of lower competition and high search volume. And that's where you find people who are looking for what you want, and then you just make test content. You make like 7 or 8 test pieces of content. Then you go ahead and release that and see what sort of traction that you get. Because you don't want to like write an entire book and find out that like lots of people are searching for it, but none of them are paying you money. Because again, you're not doing this for free. You're doing this for the bag. We're doing this to get our cash. So you're going to want to specialize down. Fee is too big, especially for a new person. Yeah, Corinne, working from home. This is definitely a work from home gig. And it is possible to be a full-time single parent breadwinner doing this. So you can make enough money to support yourself and your kids without having to have a job outside of the house. Absolutely possible. I've done it. I've helped other people do it. If you don't take any days off and you work really, really hard after work, it's possible to make $2,000 to $3,000 a month part-time doing this. But that's a hustle. $1,500 is more a more reasonable number for a newbie doing this part-time. Does that help? When we are no longer dual streaming, because I cannot talk about adult things on TikTok. We will brainstorm some more specific specializations that you can get into. Cynical, that is a decent niche. Get the YouTube link from Apple and we can talk about it more in depth over there after I stop dual streaming. Yeah, Korean, there's a big difference between choosing to get out of the house and having to leave the house. Latoya asks a really good question. Latoya said, I was thinking about doing no-face audio-only clips. Would that sell? Yes, and you can even put those on video sites. Here is the secret to that. You want to make the format MP4 and using Canva or Adobe Spark or a graphic design service, make album art. You can have an audio recording that has like a single piece of album art on it as an MP4 video recording, and you can put that on most of the video clip sites. Just make it clear, extra super clear in your description that it is an audio only clip or you will get refunds and chargebacks. And that might get you banned from platforms. But one of the big platforms, I know some people making $4,000 to $5,000 a month off of doing that with audio clips. Damn right, Latoya. And to get started with the audio only is really simple. You can get started with, like I made thousands of dollars with a $45 Bluetooth or a Blue Yeti Snowball, a little Darth Vader looking microphone. Okay, really good question. If you were setting up multiple accounts on multiple platforms, do you do a business account and pay yourself from there? I do not suggest doing any kind of business account until you're reliably hitting $60,000 a year. Here is why. That is the money amount where it starts making sense to run things through a corporation. But in most states, your annual filing and your annual filing and the setup for a business unit is about $300. Also, you have to go through extra steps so that people can't find your home address. So for instance, if you have an LLC and somebody finds the name of your business, which they will be able to if you are producing adult content under the name of that business, they will be able to find your home address. So it is slightly more expensive to do it safely as an adult performer. And the cost benefit just isn't worth it until you're hitting $60,000 a year. Once you hit that amount, then it's worth it to get a lawyer and an accountant to help you get that set up. Apple, Cynical wants to have the link for the YouTube if you get a chance to put that on TikTok. Ildi asks a really good question. Content creators who already have fans on a fan platform. Okay, Corinne, I'm going to get to your question in a second. And Rachel, I'm going to get to you in a sec too. Okay, so if you already have people who've purchased from you, what you do is you do a loss leader sale. And you can look this up on Investopedia. This is a business tactic. What you do is you rebundle your content. And I actually have a guide, the Shimon Leishman Survival Guide. I didn't get the link up on the website, but send us a note and we'll get it to you. And I'll put it up on the website and you just put your email in and you'll be able to get it. Oh shoot, what was I saying? Apple?
Loss leader sale.
Loss leader sale. Okay. You refactor your contents. You put like everything in a single package for like $150. And then you do like a behind the scenes or a clips or you know the oopsies or the funny outtakes, right? And you put those on the new platform, and then you contact everybody who's purchased you on the old platform, and you say, hey, or you even post something like, hey, I have all this great stuff on the new platform for less than you can get it on this one. If you guys want it, it's over there. A lot of times you cannot say the name of the new platform. You can just say, hey, I've got a whole bunch of stuff that isn't allowed on this platform. It's on another platform. If you're interested, send me a private message. And they will send you a private message. And then you will be able to get them over to the other platform, especially if you have like a big content catalog and you're doing big bundles. Or like you can also refactor for interests. So like if you have a whole bunch of bikini pictures, you just go through it and get all the ones that have your feet showing. Boom. You now have a foot photo set. If you can do that for everything. Everything. Okay. So, setting is important for pictures. You don't have anywhere to do that. For limited space and no backdrops, honestly, this backdrop was like 15 bucks. If you can get a backdrop, do. If you can't, there's ways and filters where you can get like a very short focused picture and it just fuzzes out everything in the background. That's a camera trick, Rachel, and it depends on your camera or your editing software. I only know how to do it in Adobe Photoshop, but if you look up like photo editing short lens length, I think that should get you tutorials. Okay, Corrine asked a really important question. Quick question though, is it possible to make any flow back within a month? I actually nuked all my old accounts and started from scratch to like document how I'm doing everything for new people. And I'm making $3,000 a month with a brand new account. So yeah, it's absolutely possible. Christina Mark suggests Photopea is an online free version of Photoshop if you have a computer that can run it. I also highly recommend GIMP. I've used it for years, and that is GIMP for the GNU Image Manipulation Project. And it is almost as fully featured as Photoshop. It is excellent, and it is $0.00. Latoya asks, would you suggest releasing the clips in different niches in one batch and seeing what sells? Only if you have really good distribution lists set up. What I mean by that. Oh yeah, Corrine. I started everything from scratch. $3,000 a month. Everything. Like no fan base. Nothing. Now, I was using live performance over the phone to do that, but so I do have a skill set there of being able to keep people on the phone for a long time. But honestly, yeah, you should be getting paid within a week of starting, and that's without making any content. And Corrine, later on the YouTube, we can talk about platforms. There's actually a platform I recommend just for getting your sea legs in that particular style of performance, and it pays you while you learn. Ash writes, how long did it take me to get to 3K? It took me all month. It took me all month, not full time, but 3/4 time. So, like I said, I have a particular skill set of being able to get people to stay on the phone with me for a really long time, and when you're paid by the minute, that helps. But I literally started all brand new accounts. So no fans, no recurring, no selling of any of my content catalog, all just brand new accounts. Because I wanted to do it right. You know, I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, a new person can absolutely make $5,000 a month from nothing. Like that's why I'm doing the panty sales, because I've never really done panty sales. So I'm starting from zero. No fans, no customer base, zero. So that I can document the entire process of getting up to, my goal is with that is to hit $100 a day. Socks and underpants. Okay. So back to what Latoya was asking. So when you are testing a genre, right? I suggest you have a spreadsheet, and I provided it on my Patreon, and it's in the marketing and getting started guide. So I have a spreadsheet, boom, 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 where I find places to market my content. And one of the big sites that lets you do this is Reddit, and you find specific subreddits. So you find your specific subreddits for that particular interest, and you boom, 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 write them all down. So if you have a spreadsheet, because again, I'm from consulting, I freaking love Excel. Spreadsheets are my jam. So if you have a spreadsheet where it's all there, distribute all of your content all over the place. But honestly, you can do, you can test one at a time. You can spend, I timed it, 2.5 hours on a Monday, make and package all of your content for a niche, and then distribute it during the week. That's very, very doable. Ash writes about socks, sexy socks. Can you elaborate, please? Yes. Okay, so girl, men are weird. Very, very, very weird. They will buy your laundry. They will buy your dirty laundry. There are 5 sites that I am currently trailing on selling things like socks. They will also purchase worn pantyhose and your chones, your underpants. Anything that has touched your grundle. Some of them will also pay for things like jeans you've peed in. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. It's weird. It's weird. So one of the things that you can do, and I'm trying to sort of build a roadmap for other people to follow, is you can make money off of live performance, and you can make money off of your content catalog, and you can make money off of the sale of physical items. So while you're building up the content catalog, you can make, $100 a day off of the worn items. And then you can make $100, $200 a day. Thanks, Ash. Ash said every live is an adventure. You can make $100 to $200 a day off of live performance pretty easily, very part-time. The rates I suggest new people start at, that is literally an hour and a half worth of work. So you can make that, make an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can make so that you can hit that $300 a day mark, because $300 a day is when most people can start transitioning from their full-time employment. Illy, please feel free to plug open source links on the technology side. I used to be a very large Linux enthusiast, and for those who get this, I used to run Debian unstable. Every so often, you turn on your computer and it would just break, and sometimes you turn on your computer and there'd be a whole new software suite on it. M asked, what's the best place to watch my progress? Here on TikTok and on YouTube. Now that the platform is ready to go for spicyaccountants.com, I will be able to spend more time making content and helping people out. But I had to make sure that the people who had joined my beta were taken care of first. What desktop? That was like 20 years ago. It was a long time. Okay, I got a ring light, was ready to return it. Should I just keep it? Is that kind of lighting beneficial or not? Behold my glasses. Ring lights are super important. Your lighting is super important. The only makeup I'm wearing right now is lipstick. And I'm almost 40. And I have period acne. The lighting is critically important. Right now, I will show on TikTok. I cannot show this on the live stream, but I'm going to show you my lighting setup. And also a little bit of the beautiful apple if she nods. Okay, so here's my lighting setup. I have, boom, an umbrella light, a beautiful bestie, a ring light, and another umbrella light. The entire setup cost me less than $100. All from Amazon. And I look so good. Okay, audio only. You can absolutely go audio only. You can make, I'd say $8,000 a month if you have a really good audio niche. Oh, Ildi, I get the leftover computers in my house. I get whatever gaming computer another person throws out when they upgrade theirs. I don't get to make my own computers. Are there lights bouncing off the umbrellas as well? No, what the umbrellas do is they soften the light. So, Apple, are you up for running an experiment? Would you pop the umbrella off of those lights so you can see it getting harsher and then softer again? So what the umbrellas they do is they diffuse it, and you can use a sheet. And if you look up like indie filmmaking tips and things, like they literally get like cheap sheets from IKEA, and then they they stretch them out. Okay, so if you notice, the shadows on the side of my face have gotten a lot, they've gotten a lot harsher because the light on this side is no longer diffused. And since I'm a woman of a certain age, that means these are going to get a little more noticeable. This is going to get a little bit more noticeable, and the fine lines around my eyes are going to be more noticeable. So now I'm going to turn off the ring light. And again, no makeup. No makeup. Okay, so the light on this side is diffused. The light on this side is not. And you see how it looks like I have foundation on this side, and it looks like I have no foundation on this side. I think... Okay, I'm also going to look at YouTube so that they can see. It's lagging a little bit. Yeah, grad school stuff. Okay, so YouTube, you can see this is more defined, and this doesn't look as good. And this is actually my good side. This side has more sun damage. All right, are you up for taking the umbrella off of that one so we can see it with no diffusers? Oh, I know. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that. Hang on a sec. I'm going to turn all of the enhancements off. Boom. So you can see the fine lines on my forehead are a lot more. Whew, okay. I had none of these visible with the lighting before.
Do you want to turn them off?
Oh no, please put the umbrellas back on. Please put the umbrella back on. If the men find we can shapeshift, they'll turn us into the church. Okay. So, the lighting is really important, and I suggest that it's one of the first things you get, because honestly, you can make the money with your cell phone camera. I have been, that's another thing that I've been doing. I have some fairly nice cameras. Everything that I've been doing, I'm making on my cell phone. All my pictures, cell phone. Everything is cell phone. Because I figure everybody has a cell phone, and if you don't have a cell phone, like, as a business expense, you can pick up any late model cell phone. Like, I am partial to iPhones, but they're all good enough. They're all good enough to make actual, like, legit movies and music videos at this point. Okay, Corinne says, I need a cell phone stand. And Cynical Beauty says, I'm not sure if I'll have the creativity to make content. I have a hack. Okay. So, the $20 ring lights. Apple, my beautiful assistant who just sat down. If you're up for passing me mine, I'm using Apple's ring light and stand. I'll show you mine. The cheap ring light stands come with a cell phone holder. Yeah. They already have that. And my cell phone holder, hold on a sec, came with this bad boy. A clicker. A Bluetooth clicker. So I can have my camera across the room with my ring light and my cell phone holder, because I broke the one that came with it, and I can click it and take photos with a hands-free. And this entire thing I think was $23 on Amazon Prime. 23 bucks. Not, well, this, I've had this for a really long time. But also don't drop it down the stairs. That's how I broke my cell phone holder in here. Okay? So don't drop it down the stairs. You'll be fine. My ring light isn't as big or as nice as Apple's. What? How much did you pay for yours?
Oh, heavens. I don't remember. Somebody else bought it for me.
Okay, somebody else bought it. All right, my lovelies. My proud beauties. When you start in your niches, here is how to make the big money. The big money. You put in everything. I take custom commissions. I will make custom content, right? And what will happen is your fan base will start asking you to make specific videos for them, and you charge 2 different rates. One for content you cannot reuse. So if somebody has something that's just like so weird nobody else is going to buy it, or they want you to say their name, that sort of thing. Is it back up? It's telling me it's up and then
It looks like.
Okay. So when you're presenting this, well, that really shows the jiggle. Okay. So when you're sending this content out in the world, and you say, you can even put it for all of you audio girls, have a little bumper music at the front and back of your tracks. You can get royalty-free meters, entire YouTube collections where they just have tons of them. Get a little bit of bumper music. And at the beginning say, this is, and then whatever your spicy counting name is, this is Mean MILF Mallory. If you like what I'm doing, you can find me at meanmilfmallory.com. And I also do custom content and requests. So what will happen is people will find your stuff, and then they will email you, and they will pay you extra and send you scripts to make content for them. So you get paid to make your content as a live performance, and then you get paid every single time somebody buys your content. I'm a huge fan of getting paid multiple times for the same work. Huge. Getting paid twice is bae. Who doesn't love getting paid twice? It's so nice. You get paid twice. Okay. I'm going to be putting the smoothing back on. Pardon me. Okay. I love hiding my wrinkles. Okay. So that is, except I accidentally changed. Yes, this is on YouTube right now. We're currently having some issues with the stream, but it's on YouTube right now, and Apple will probably respond with a link to the YouTube. We'll rewatch this whole thing. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. Okay, I guess that'll work. I just didn't want to be turned into an Oompa Loompa. Alright, filters have been changed. Okay, so everything looks good on the YouTube side. But yes, the reason why I make sure that I put everything on YouTube as well is because a lot of my stuff gets just deleted off of TikTok, and it is not unusual for me to get put in TikTok jail, where I cannot talk to anybody for a month at a time. Do I have a certain space set up to do this in a place? Yes, but the space that you have can be really small. So I use the smallest room in my house. I have a big house, but I have the smallest office space in it for my setup. So most of my videos, I take in literally this corner. This is the amount of space I have. There's a closet door. There's the door to the room. This is where I take 90% of my videos. So literally you can have a corner and set up a video studio. And this backdrop, $15. I have a collection of backdrops. I don't think I spent more than $20 on any of the backdrops. So the backdrops really help, especially if you can have a little more distance, like if I was up here, to sort of de-emphasize the backdrop. That does help. As far as audio recording goes, you just need a quiet space and a USB microphone. I finally, after many, many years, got one of the nice, like, Yeti Bluetooth with, like, the shock mounts. Honestly, you can do it with a gaming headset. Decent quality gaming headset. A blue snowball mic. I used one for years. Made thousands of dollars off of recordings I made on that thing. They're $45. So it's a business that is pretty easy to get into. You can even start making recordings on your cell phone. The quality is not going to be as good. You're not going to be able to charge as much as you'll charge for your later stuff, but it's better to get started and iterate through. The stuff that you do a year from now is going to be so much better than the stuff that you're doing now. Don't even worry about the quality. Like, always have it in the back of your head that you want to improve quality, but don't let it stop you from putting content out. Because the best way to improve your quality of your content is to just make a lot of content. That's really the trick. Make a lot of it, edit it. As you edit it, like, I have realized that I tongue click constantly. It's so annoying. I don't even realize when I do it. I just did it right then. Because when I go through my audio recordings, I edit that all out. Okay, if you have the setup like you do you need headphones for audio content? Sources for special sound effects noises. The grocery store. The papaya never saw it coming. Okay, for those of you who weren't around, you can use fruit to make squishy sounds. Some Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B style noises. Peaches, watermelon. If you need smacking noises, you can buy a cheap pressed ham, beat the heck out of it with a belt or a hairbrush, and just slap it. And that way you're not like smacking yourself. So I don't buy like a special effects library. I never have. Okay, I got a couple of important questions over here. So yeah, I don't have a library. I just have a weird memory for sounds, and so when I hear something that kind of sounds like something I might want to add later, I just file it in my brain. But yeah, papayas, mangoes. And record running water from your tap. Okay, you have to be careful about sounding like you might be going, number one, because some of the sites ban that. But pouring tea from a teapot into a cup is the best I have found for mimicking that noise. Okay, GPS and DIN on YouTube. I've just asked. I said, hey, we're in the beta. We want to use the new websites with all the accounts. Absolutely, the new website just looks a lot better and crashes a lot less. Your accounts should be loaded onto our password system. So we have a secure password system so that we can save your passwords and they're not like sent over the internet unencrypted. If you haven't gotten your passwords, we did have an issue where somebody deleted a whole bunch of our tickets. So if you sent us a ticket asking for help and we haven't gotten back to you, we have tried calling every single person who was on the beta and sending texts and emails, trying to get through to people. So that we definitely want to get everything to you. Contact BBW Apple Tarts in the doodler, and she'll be able to get you hooked up. Can I give my YouTube here? Yes, Apple, would you post that delicious link on the TikTok? Yeah, if you're just going to the website, that's fine. But I want to make sure that people know where the YouTube is, because we cannot talk about like deep diving on a lot of things, because this is a platform for children. Hello! So one of the things that we want to do is everybody who signs up every week, we want to have 2 different sessions, like a Thursday session for the newbies and a Friday session, or a Thursday session for the old hands, because we make our money on Fridays. We don't want to do anything on Friday other than getting that bag. And a Friday session for newbies where Apple and I will spend 15 minutes to an hour just walking new people through, because we found a lot of people when we were like, hey, here's the link, that they didn't they didn't fill out what we needed to make their accounts. So we want to make sure that people get their money's worth. Because you can't get that bag if you don't have the account. Okay, baby mother. Apple is here. Contact her. We have been trying to call everybody who is on the beta to make sure that you're all taken care of. So we'll set up a time. We'll call you. We'll get you all set up. I would say email, but we're still having problems with the email because I have angered the email gods at some point. Apple, have you been able to private message?
I am direct messaging and referring people
Okay.
to the website inquiry bot or the inquiry box.
Okay, so you should have a direct message from Apple. Contact us. We want to get that fixed because I don't want like to ask you to dox yourself. I don't want to be like, okay, so what was your legal name and phone number? But like, we will call you. We'll get you taken care of. And by the way, thank you for joining the beta. That was amazing, and the support that I got literally has allowed me to create something that I think is going to be life-changing for a whole bunch of people. It means a lot to me. We've had a couple people who are already, you know, making enough money that they don't have to work. They're making more money part-time than they were making full-time, or they were able to replace their part-time job and not have to pay for daycare and to be able to stay home with their babies. And that is try not to tear up. That is that's why we're doing it. We're doing this to help people do this safely and profitably so that they have choices. Baby, in California, in need. Baby, what do you need? I will help you. Just let me know. And something very important, your accounts are your accounts. They are not ours. We make them for you and hand them off to you. So we're not using them. We're not touching them. They are... Okay, so to get started, baby, if you go to spicyaccountants.com, we have 2 different programs that you can enter. One, you just get the list of all the platforms and a getting started guide. Like how to go in, step-by-step screenshots. It has taken me 3 months. And like some of the days were like 16 to 8-hour days. 3 months to go through and screenshot every single thing you need and to do everything that you need to do to get your account set up. You can also set your accounts up for you. In which case, all you need to do, you're still going to get the setup guide because you still have to set up your listings inside. Oh, Regina, you like the guide? Hell yeah! Please tell me more. Please tell me more. I cannot tell. Like, my wife is mad at me because I was up until 2 o'clock in the morning working on the guide last night. Because one of the panty sites allows sales of videos, but their upload process is a literal Brazil-style nightmare. The movie, not the country. I expected Danny DeVito to dissolve into newspapers. So yeah, I'm actually in trouble for working on the guide till 2 a.m. Oh my gosh. Regina, thank you so much. That means so much to me. Regina said, I did, girl. I sent you a review. It's like having your hand held. Yes, that is exactly what I wanted to do because these sites, they all do it differently. Some of them are so complicated and some of them, like, they're like, everything's done. But they don't mention that they won't pay you until you do this one little thing. So you're sitting there with like $400 in this account and you're like, where's my friggin' money? I want my $2. I'm probably the only person who's seen that movie in here. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So Regina, shoot Apple a note. We're going to be doing a couple of group sessions. Oh, okay. So Regina said, I'm starting now. I was tired. I tried doing it myself, but damn, I was pulling my hair out. Yeah, it is frustrating. It's frustrating and it takes forever. And you got the equipment coming out. What equipment do you have? What you get? Do I see a difference in sales when showing my face when focusing on panties and socks? I have not done a lot, but honestly, most of the physical item sales people do not show their face. When I did it, like I mostly did socks and shoes in the past. I never showed my face. It was from the knee down. So the panties are newer for me. We do have an interview on the YouTube channel with Jessica the Panty Queen. But like you can sell your beat up used flip flops. Like you'll never need to throw beat up shoes away again. Ever. Yeah, yeah. They buy the weirdest stuff. So yeah. I'm just gonna call you Baby Mama because I'm not sure how to pronounce indigenous. I don't want to mess up your name, but yeah, it can be really confusing and hard to set up all of those accounts. But that's what that and like I said, I have spent 3 months nonstop working on Baby Ma. Yeah. I've spent 3 months nonstop working on this guide just because and the cheat sheet is also really important because there's some stuff that's really weird that some platforms are just like, nope, you can't use this. It's like some of them, you can't use the word hypnosis. It has to be mesmerizing. Okay. So now I have a bunch of audio recordings. I have to go and change and like take out that word and put in like ASMR, mesmer. Ash, what were you giving away? Don't give it away when they will pay. Yeah, don't give it away when they will pay. Don't give away your clothes. Don't give away your shoes. Yeah, it's been forever. I was in TikTok jail hardcore. Okay, Treehead said, is there any way to set up accounts with an LLC? I'm on disability and don't want to mess up my check. Yes, absolutely. Every single one of the platforms will accept an EIN, an employment identification number. However, if you are the sole proprietor of an LLC and Apple is giving me a look, please keep in mind I am not an attorney. I am not your attorney. I am not a tax advisor. I am not your tax advisor. So double check this all with a professional. But you will need to set up an LLC. It takes about $300 and there are reporting requirements. You also have to have a legal address for the agent of record to have as an LLC. You need to have that not be your home address because the 2257, which is the anti-child pornography requirements for a lot of sites, will post that information. You do not want people being able to Google your business, find your state's registrar of businesses, and find your address. Okay. Second, if you have a one-person LLC with pass-through income, you very well may still get in trouble. So you will probably need to form an LLC with a board. That is going to depend on your state. Talk to an attorney. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can not do the content catalog, or you can basically have the prices be really, really, really low, and only do live performances. So you can stop doing live performances before you meet your cap. But you can also set up a studio and sign up for all of the platforms as a studio account. And again, you use your EIN instead of your social, and that is a number you can get from the IRS. That is your tax employer identification number. So it'll be either TIN, tax identification number, which is your social, or EIN, employer identification number. The EIN is free. If anybody tries to charge you to get an EIN, do not give them money. They are scamming you. Okay, Corrine, you're not sure which package to sign up for. Oh gosh, hang on a sec. This bra's giving me indigestion. Well, how much spare time do you have? Because if you have a lot of time on your hands, then just get the platform list. If you don't have a ton of time on your hands, I would get the have us do it, because we also give you the platform list and the cheat sheet and the guide for that. Because it is to set up all of the platforms, to set up your accounts on all the platforms, it takes 40 hours. Consistently, that is how much time it takes to set it up by hand. When we started, we said it was about 30 hours when Apple and I timed ourselves and made all new accounts and everything, but we've added more platforms since then. So the platform list and guide who are like struggling, don't have any money, you just need something to help you get started. That's what I made that for. If you can afford, like, while I'm setting it up, I keep like wishing I could just pay someone else to do it for me. I find it an enormous pain in my ass crack. So yeah, but setting up your platforms, you can set everything up as a company. I would not suggest setting it up as a sole proprietorship, but again, your tax situation may differ, and there are benefits and drawbacks to every corporate form. Also, on all of these sites, you will need to fill out a W-9, or at least all the US-based sites, most of the other ones. You'll need to fill out a W-9 form. Sometimes they autofill them out for you. Sometimes you have to fill it out, keep one on your computer, and just upload it. So I have one on my computer. I'm just uploading to all the sites. On the W-9 form, I say, click this button for like individual. If you have a business, you need to click another button. So all of my step-by-step instructions on the manual are set up for someone who is an individual. If you have a business, ignore that part of the manual. You are considered an advanced user and expected to improvise. Okay. Also, if you need to get a hold of Apple, someone just pointed out that you can go to the website, go under Education, and click the button that says Ask Apple, and that goes straight to her inbox. It's also a great place to ask questions. And it's also a really good place to get other, it's a really good place to get another perspective, because like I said, Apple and I do a lot of things very, very differently. We have extremely different personalities, very different niches that we serve. Some of the stuff that works for me would not work for Apple, and vice versa. So if you are nice, because I am not, at least not to my clients, Apple has amazing advice. All right. Welcome, Maz. Do you have any questions about what to do now that OnlyFans is no longer a reliable place to be? Wait, I messed that up. Brain can words now. Yes, heard. Apple rocks. She is amazing. She's one of the best people on the entire planet, and we are blessed to have her in our presence. So, yeah, and if you, so I think, gosh, how long have we been doing this?
About an hour and 10 minutes.
We've been doing this for about an hour. I'm going to move over to YouTube exclusively so that I can speak freely and do things like mention platform names and niches and say grown-up language. I'm going to wait for people to start filtering out of here. Just let me know. So basically, I'm not going to like be answering more questions here. We're in YouTube. Apple, could you post the link?
Already done.
Okay. Okay, it's not showing up in the chat. I don't see it. I'm going to go to admin settings and make sure you are a moderator.
I am a moderator.
Okay.
Let me try the YouTube channel entirely.
Okay, so we are posting the YouTube channel and we are moving over to the tube of you. Sharita! I love Sharita. She's amazing. Okay, so Apple is trying to get the YouTube link posted. The YouTube channel is Lotus Dreaming. And if you go like to the channel and subscribe, it says like spicy accounting across the top, and there's a chili pepper logo. That's how you know you're in the right place. If you start talking about like tea or yoga, you are in the wrong place. The wrong place. There's also a lot of other videos there, and all of our previous lives are up there because TikTok will promote my previous lives and then get me in trouble for them. It is like being on a yo-yo. I never know what I'm going to do to anger the TikTok gods. All right, we got 12 people here. Wait a minute. Can I add a link? No, I cannot.
Here, I'll try just typing it out with.
Okay, so Figality, we are moving to YouTube so that we can use grown-up language. We've been here for about an hour. Corrine, we are here to help. Head on over to the YouTube. We will be able to speak more freely.
Does that come through?
Okay, can anybody else see the YouTube channel? Okay, Cynical Beauty found us via search. And Crystal was able to find us and subscribe. Okay, so there's 9 of you here. I'm going to head out and focus on YouTube so that we can start. Oh, you know, this is the grown business. Okay, I will be doing more of these. Love you guys. My proud beauties. I will see you later. Boop, boop, boop. And now. Okay. Latoya, homework is important. I am all about supporting you getting your homework done. Okay. Yes, so Ildi is absolutely correct. This is one of the things that can be really overwhelming about starting adult work is you basically are starting 8 jobs at once from the bottom, right? You're a small business owner, you're a graphic designer, you're an adult content creator, you're a market researcher, all of this all at the same time. It is overwhelming. So what you do is you just do all of it and you don't worry about being perfect. Because perfection is the enemy of progress. And one of the nice things is while you're doing this, you're actually picking up a bunch of skills that's going to make you really useful in a more conventional workplace. I cannot tell you how many times I have been able to save the day because I was able to show up, download GIMP for free, and make a thing that somebody needed really quickly. Right? And when you're making cover art and all that other stuff, it's a really, really useful. It's a really useful skill set. When you have an employer who wants to enter a different market and they're not sure which one is going to make sense to put their money into, well, market research and market testing. So you'll be able to go to them and say, hey, let's go ahead and put $100 in ad spend on each of these markets on Facebook ads and see which one takes off. And they'll think that you're a miracle worker because it's just not something where if you've never done it before, it's not going to be your first instinct to do that. And you're going to save them tons of money and help them make tons of money. So you're learning a whole lot of skills at once. It's basically an on-the-ground MBA. And that can be tough. Yeah, Latoya, this isn't about perfection. Okay, I can say this now that TikTok is over. These are dudes with boners. I have seen them jerk it, swearing that a picture wasn't photoshopped, when they accidentally removed the girl's belly button. They're not picky. They will fuck a chicken sandwich if they think it looks hot. Alright, these are dudes who want to buy your dirty, smelly underpants. It's not an art critic. They want to sniff your socks with a boner. Men with boners are the easiest audience to sell to. And honestly, they'll believe whatever you say because they want to believe it in their pervy little hearts of hearts. They want to believe that they're talking to whatever, like...
As long as you don't say the character name, I'm fine with it.
Oh, no. I was actually thinking of, like... So I have a character where every time anybody asks, are you blah? I just say yes. So in the same evening, I have been a 400-pound redhead with a glass eye and an 18-year-old blonde who weighs 92 pounds. Like, they want to believe it. Okay, yeah. LaToya. Athena. Christina. They're dudes with boners. This is literally the dumbest demographic you can run across. They only have the blood to run one, and they are not running the brain. There's no one so willing to believe. I mean, and it doesn't, I mean, I've told so many guys and they're like, what are you wearing? And I listen to their fetish and I'm like, oh, I just got back from the opera. I'm wearing a ball gown. I'm wearing fucking sweatpants and a tube top. I've been gardening. But if they want to believe that I am in a ball gown, then I'm in a fucking ball gown. And they will believe that somehow they just happen to catch you every single time you're wearing a ball gown. Yes, I absolutely wear ball gowns 4 times a week. That is my life. And then you just come up with a reason, the vaguest reason. Oh, yeah, I'm
Charity auction.
I do charity auctions for a living. That's why I'm always wearing evening gowns. Oh, yeah, there's a heated pool at my apartment complex. That's why it's December and I'm in a wet bikini. I am absolutely 18, and I have been 18 the entire time you've talked to me for the last 4 years. Still 18. They dumb. You don't have to be perfect. To be honest, you don't have to be adequate. You just have to be there. Okay. Feet, vid, and pics. Yeah, Corrine, I hope you take that as a booster. My advice for making a niche for yourself: watch my marketing video and go to current sites where they are talking about feet. Go to forums and look at what they're talking about. So, like, one of the things I noticed with feet, some guys love spread toes inside pantyhose. Some of them hate the pantyhose. They just want the bare feet. Some guys like dirty feet. Right? So you go through. Illy just said, my birthday's February 29th. I'm 18. It's fine. And guys, it's not lying. They call us phone actresses for a reason. Okay? One of the things that I have written out that I really need to finish up, one of the many resources I've made, is I have made a character exploration workbook where you literally write out everything about your character. Because you are not doing this as you. Do not do this as you. Unless you, like, really want to buy your therapist a boat. That is the quickest way to burn out in a mental. And I've seen person after person after person try it. I want to give my clients a real authentic experience. You can't. You cannot do that. It will fucking destroy your soul. There is a reason if you go into any of the helping therapeutic professions, if you become a therapist and you are dealing with the insides of other people's heads and hearts, you have a class that you must take where you learn to give yourself emotional distance from your clients. Okay? So, this is your character. They're interacting with a character, not you. Haitian. Queenie. We'll get to that in just a sec. Degradation is so much fun. It's my favorite. There's a lot of sub niches in degradation, so you're going to want to start by specializing in one of them. But you are doing this as your character, so this is acting. And this is partly a way that you get to explore different aspects of yourself or parts of yourself that you may not normally let out. Like, everybody who knows me in real life, like, I make casseroles for strangers going through hard times. Ash, the workbook isn't there yet, but send me a note and I'll get it to you, because I could use some feedback from a writer. But you are acting as a character. This isn't you, right? This isn't your life. You don't get to have sex 8 times a day. Okay, yeah, send Apple a note. She's the responsible grown-up. I have ADD like a motherfucker, and I forget shit all the time. So you're living out a fantasy, enabling somebody else to get to experience their fantasy. And it's emotional labor, which is why you have to follow the same rules for emotional labor that therapists do, or you are going to get hurt, and you are going to burn out, and you are going to be miserable. I mean, the people who criticize sex work by saying it's demeaning and degrading and terrible, like, it can be. It absolutely can be. And the difference between those of us who find this empowering and enriching and life-affirming and the people who get chewed up and spit out is boundaries and having that emotional space. You gotta have the emotional space. You got to. Tamara, I'm not really looking for an editor because Apple takes all the dick jokes out of everything I write because it's not professional. She's laughing at me right now because it's true. But I'm always down for beta readers. Okay, so, Queenie, my Haitian queen. Degradation as a niche. There's a lot of sub niches there. One of my absolute favorites is small penis humiliation. God, it's good. It's a shower for your soul. But there's a lot of sub niches there, and a lot of guys have very specific words for what they want. Like, one of them is what's the acronym? CFNM, clothed female, nude male. So what they want is to pretend that they are naked and you have your clothes on. You have all of the power and all of the control, and you are demeaning them. Okay? That is a big enough niche that it has acronyms and tags on most of the platforms. Okay? Now, they usually... and that's actually one that's really good if you want to take photo content of yourself, but you don't ever want to get naked. Right? Because you have a bunch of pictures, like, from the ground where your cell phone is really low, looking up at you in a business suit. And you just make fun of guys. It's great. And I love it. Apple actually doesn't like doing it. Yeah, she's nicer than me. But if you like doing it... and some people say, like, they have a really hard time at first, or they, like, want to cry the first couple times, but just, like, imagine the ex that cheated on you and just vomit, word torrent, all of your criticisms for every shitty ex-boyfriend you've ever had. Like, I have made a lot of money telling guys how bad they stink. Your fucking balls stink. Your ass crack stinks. No woman actually wants to fucking touch you. You're a disgusting piece of shit. And Apple's like, how was your day, honey? I missed you. And I'm like, the only reason I'm talking to you is because you're paying me. The instant your money runs out, you're gone out of my life. Very different.
But I did keep a guy on the phone for almost an hour and a half talking about like my dead grandma.
Oh, yeah. Apple got paid for an hour and a half phone call talking about her dead grandma.
Because I was so sad.
Because she was so sad and he just wanted to comfort her. GFE works as audio clips. Apple makes a lot of audio clips with GFE stuff. In fact, Apple still needs to make that happy birthday recording.
It's like a month overdue.
Just send it anyway. Just be like, hey, I think it got caught in your spam folder because you never mentioned it.
Yeah. It's not like I've been logged on.
That
particular guy.
Yes, Ash, send Apple a note. I will get you the character workbook. Because what I need to do with the holdup is I want to format it so I can put it on Amazon print on demand so that you can actually get a physical book to write out. Yeah, Girlfriend Experience Girlfriend Experience makes a lot of money. You can also be like the naughty wife who tells her loving husband about her erotic sexcapades. So that's popular in cuckolding. I do the mean cuckolding. Well, of course I'm fucking other men. Your dick's not big enough. Maybe if you were, I don't know, hung better than a toddler and I could get satisfaction out of you, I wouldn't have to cheat on you. Very different. The workbook isn't available yet. But it's super important, and it is on my priority list. Getting the manual to walk you through everything was priority numero uno. Oh, I'm dying. Thanks, Ash. In a little bit. Okay, so but even without the workbook, guys, every single actor, every single writer, every single D&D player, like, you know, if you were an enormous fucking nerd and pretended to be an elf sitting around the lunch table in middle school, rolling a d20 to see whether or not magic missile hit in the dark. By the way, personal experience here, that's a great way to get bit up in middle school. Like, they all have tons of great resources for how to flesh out and develop characters. Script writing. Yep, D&D. Honestly, build a D&D worksheet. Build a character sheet. Build a backstory. It's just like D&D. Tamara, send Apple a note. If you go to the website, go under Education, Ask Apple. There's a form that goes right to her. Haitian Queen, how do you think up a good name for your persona? I have an entire hour and a half long video about that on this channel. It's important to not only shit, what was I saying? Apple, what was I saying?
You were talking about screen names.
Oh, usernames. Okay, so you need to make sure that it is specific but broad. Nobody else has it, and it is marketable for a wide variety of fetishes. So the one that I just pulled up is Mean MILF Mallory. She is my new project. I'm making accounts for Mean MILF Mallory everywhere. You can follow me at Twitter at Mean MILF. So Mean MILF Mallory can pivot to every single domination fetish. So if I want to do I squish you with my big feet, I can do that. If I want to do small penis simulation, I can do that, right? So you need to be pivotable. And you need to make sure that nobody else has it. Yeah. Okay. 2020 asks, can I give tips on taking better photos? Lighting is 80% of a good photo. All right, it's just this girl's here. I'm taking off this bra. It's fucking killing me.
Oh, goodness.
Oh yeah, you guys are gonna get to see my mad bra removal skills where I show absolutely nothing interesting. So lighting is the difference between a good photo and a shitty photo. Also, take lots more photos than you think you're gonna need. Okay? I have done professional modeling shoots. To get those professional photos, they take thousands of pictures, an average of 1,000 to 2,000 pictures per shoot.
Spray and pray.
It's not just spray and pray. You can also, once you get better, all of those photos can go into things like expanded photo sets. So all of those photos are worth money to you. Or you can take like the one where your butt looks good and the one where your boobs look good, but you've twisted and you can just sort of merge them together. So I mean, there's a lot that you can do. So you probably need to take a lot more photos than you're taking. A good lighting rig is about $100. It makes a huge difference. And the other thing is there's actually boudoir photography posing manuals. So you can get those on Amazon. I have not purchased any of them, but I made a list of like 5 or 6 of them. There's also like boudoir photo TikToks. There's all kinds of posing guides because a lot of it's not natural, like the pinup photography, which I used to do a lot of. If you are pinup modeling, the poses you're in look so natural and easy and breezy. They fucking hurt. There's nothing natural about arching your back like that. Like, if you're going to take a photo set, take some Motrin beforehand. Your knees are going to hurt. Your back's going to hurt. My knees and back hurt when I was 17 doing this shit, okay? It's not because you're old. It's because those poses look great on camera, but they are fucking weird to put your body in. So practice taking those poses. Like the selfie poses, one of the reasons women take such better selfies and photographs of themselves than most men is we take a shitload more selfies and just delete the bad pictures where the guys are like, here's my fish. Leanne, yes, I have not been active in ages. I have been acting like a duck, calm on top and paddling furiously underneath to get everything done for the spicyaccountants.com stuff. I've missed you, though. I've missed everybody. So yeah, build a character sheet, and then you're not interacting as you who is lying. You are Mallory. Or Lotus. Or Heteria. Like, your character. Right? And that's good for your mental health. It is also, like, it lets you explore niches. Yeah, there is some brilliant advice on TikTok about posing and lighting. But I mean, Apple earlier, when this stream is over and you can go through it, you can like scroll through. Apple took down all the lights and I turned off the ring light, and you could see I went from like looking great to I look my age. So you can do a lot with just a ring light and a cheap 3 umbrella light setup. Those are on Amazon. You could probably get all 3 of them for under $100. Yes, Athena. Alethea, I'm gonna get your name wrong. Yes, create an email just for your character. Girl, you want money. Get the money. So how do you move fans from Reddit over to other money-making platforms? 1, in your bio, you say, I do custom content. Contact me on, and then enter whatever other platform you want to be on. Althena, like Athena with an L. Okay. My daughter's named after a Greek goddess, so I'm down. Also, my dog is named Persephone. She's the cutest. She's a little pibble who loves to sploot. Okay, so you, another thing that you can do is you can do teasers. So you can refactor your content. So let's say you made a 20-minute audio, which is way too long for the record. Most men come when they're masturbating in 3 to 5 minutes. So if you do a 7-minute long, 5 to 7 minutes, you are covered, right? I am wordy as shit, you may have noticed, so I go long. Also, some of my fetishes, like mesmerism and hypnotism, you do like the introduction and the seduction and everything. So my train of thoughts are just derailing like crazy.
Babe, you've been at this for over an hour and a half.
No, I think I'm just dumb.
You're not?
Yeah, okay, so your files are too long. That's great. That's great. So you refactor it. So basically you can just cut it off at like 2.5 minutes. Because remember, the guys on the early side come at 3, right? So you cut it off at 2.5 minutes, and your bumper at the end says, you know, this was a sample from blah, blah, blah. And then you give your platform. This was a sample. For the rest of this audio, you can purchase it at blah. Now, know if you put that on some subreddits, people will fucking hate you. There are some guys on subreddits that are really, really butthurt that you don't want to engage with them on their fetish for free. When there is no woman on earth who will engage with them on their fetish for free. Right? Because some of these fetishes are fucking weird and there's nothing in it for a woman. I'm loquacious. My wife has also accused me of being a cunning linguist once or twice. Also, I'm going to show it off because I just realized it came in. I got a new tattoo. Ash, a good place to find script examples is reddit.com/r/audiogonewild. Yeah, Haitian Queen. Keep it short. Especially at the beginning when you are testing niches, it's a volume game. So let's say you have these longer clips. Just chop them up. And so that way, instead of having one 20-minute clip, you have 3 5-minute clips and one 20-minute clip. And 2 10-minute clips. Guys will purchase them at all of those different levels. And Clips for Sale, which is a site. Athena, you can't sell those without permission. We have never had someone say no as long as you give them a free copy. Not once. I'm really good at just like entering my pervert brain and like going with the flow and checking things out. Apple's much more structured than I am. So we both do it differently. But like I said, we both make money, so. All right, guys, we turned off the air conditioner in my office so that it wouldn't show up. But Apple, are you up for turning it back on? Because I am sweating my tits off.
Sure. Unless you want to end early.
Nah, let's keep going. People are asking good questions.
What?
And we've been gone for so long.
Yeah. Just, we can do more lives.
Hell, I could jump on a live.
You want to take over for a bit?
Sure. If you want me to.
Always.
Okay.
Your advice is different from mine and very, very good. All right, we're switching out. Apple's going to get in the hot seat. Very hot. As I pointed out, I'm under all these lights and my boobs are sweaty.
Jesus.
Now you see a close-up of my sweaty boobs.
Getting out from under the lights. You can moderate the chat then.
All right, I'll moderate the chat. Is it up?
It should be.
Okay.
Oh my goddess. Oh gosh. Do you see me now?
It's lagging. It just shows my boobs.
Okay. Let's see here.
And didn't show your boobs.
Althena says it's a huge asset to have such a wide gamut of you and me. Can y'all hear me okay? Should I speak up? Awesome. Okay, so I'm glad you see me, and can you hear me okay? La da 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 la da 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 la da da da. Anyway, moving on. Awesome. Thank you everybody. So let's see here. Archetypal writers, architects and gardeners. Architects want to know where every piece is. Gardeners plant a seed to see where it goes, and most people are in between. My script writing, yes, script writing. Oh my god. So I start with an idea. No, I start with a niche, and then I figure out basically where I guess where I'm going. So one of the examples that Lotus brings up a lot is an encounter at a museum. An encounter at a museum. And so my script would be a one voice script of me doing what I'd like with this stranger in the museum. And so I, instead of doing it off the cuff, would hit beats. Actually, this is something that we wanted to put in the guide, remember?
Yes.
The smut workshop. So I have developed a template. I call it my smut template or smut Mad Libs. And basically it is a list of how I write fan fiction, because I love writing fan fiction. And it goes, what's my character pairing? Is it it's very cis heteronormative, just FYI. So it starts with, is it M/M, male male? Is it female male? Is it female female? Is it, polyamorous with multiple people? Is it what is it? And so it starts with that, and then it goes into what are all the different, like, where's our setting? What is our relationship? And then what sex acts are we going to cover? So I have this long list of all these different sex acts, and I just grab a couple of them, and then I look through my list of, like, these are all the sounds we can make, and I go through, like, moaning, keening, whimpering, that catch in the back of your throat, like the kind of thing. And so I go through all of these words, and I know in my head what they sound like, so that way when I write it into my script, I can be like, I saw you across the room and my breath caught. You were so handsome. I couldn't take my eyes off you. And going on from there. And so the scripts are really great, because not only do you have them and it makes it easier to do your audios, but you can turn around and turn them just from the dialogue into adding some prose and sell them off as stories. And so it's really convenient to get paid multiple times. The other thing is I take commissions for writing unique pieces. And so I had a gentleman, I use that term loosely, want some really, really heavy sadism and degradation, and I'm like, I can do that. I do mostly girlfriend experiences, but I can write that script because he was so specific. So I just wrote this 5-minute script going on and on and on about his version, his particular flavor of sadism, and then I performed it and I sent it his direction, and he was just over the freaking moon. He was like, oh, I should have commissioned this as a 10 or 20-minute piece, and I'm like, oh, thank God you didn't. I love money, don't get me wrong.
How much did you charge for that?
Oh, God, I charged him for the script, and then because I was like, oh, you gave me this idea, but if you want me to write a script on it that you can approve and then make me record it, that's going to cost you extra to have the script approval. Yeah, so I think I made something like $40 or $50 off him for a 5-minute script.
And could you resell that?
It's going to be iffy to resell that one because there's blood. And blood is not acceptable for a lot of niches. But I can resell it on Syncats. So, and I can resell it on Syncats for the story itself. And I can pop it on Literotica. And, there are different ways that I can hit this, so that way I am selling both the content and my services multiple times. Reconnected. Yay! How do I determine pricing? So pricing, so generally speaking, let me run through my mental list. So my live rates for audio only run $2 a minute or higher for live performance. My live camming performances for private shows run a minimum of $3 a minute, preferably more around $4, because they're getting a hell of a lot more out of me and into me, and just fun stuff like that. What you doing?
If the computer wasn't using that cord.
Oh, okay, that's true. Let's see here. So those are my live rates. Then we get into the passive rates. So for audio only, I typically charge about $1 a minute for recording. So this is a resaleable recording that I'm doing without being custom content. So this is just something that I'm putting out to test a niche. It's something that I'm putting out to just try to make money off a current niche, anything like that that I'm just making up on the fly, or writing a script and making up on the fly. And so for that, I charge $1 a minute for the recording. The story, it depends on how long the story is and how spicy the niche is, how extreme the niche is. And then for video recordings, I charge at least $2 to $3 a minute. So, it depends. It really does depend, because the going rates on videos, depending on the platform you're on, may not support that price range. But I would not sell it for less than $1 a minute. Never sell it for less than $1 a minute, unless you're like having a sale. Yeah, Syncats, if you're willing to do age play with a young sounding voice, there are reasons Syncats makes the money it does, and it is not always a nice playground to play in, depending on how you work. So, Lotus is answering, I can and have done that sort of work when I am in like Crash Protocol, because I have the ability to do a very young sounding voice, but it does tend to destroy my soul. So if I'm not crashing and desperately need money, I don't do it. I just don't. So yes, audio only is fantastic, because like Lotus was saying, you can be anybody, you can do literally anything, because it's all the power of your voice and the word. So I can be me, if I've got my picture displayed, or I could be anybody else. And it's really, really nice, especially for people who are calling in who aren't on the site. They're calling in based on just your voice alone. And so from that, they can ask for anything they want. It is really hard, though, when they expect you to be a mind reader. So you get very good at asking leading questions. And those leading questions are like, oh, well, what's your sexiest fantasy? Or what's your hottest experience? Or, tell me about the best lover you've ever had. Or, I don't know, it's just one of those things. Yay! Thank you, Althena. Yes. Like us. Yes, Chester, the Cheeto mascot, is super hot. Just like amazingly sexy. That orange fur gets me going. For audio only, how would you Oh, okay. So let's see here. You want to charge for commissions. You're asking for audio work. How would you go creating Haitian? Oh, of course, Ash. Very sexy. All right. So let's take these one at a time. How do you do the creating artwork? So, DeviantArt. Find a deviant artist who is making content that is in your realm. In your realm, and then talk to that person, message them, say, oh, I love your work, or find them on Twitter, say, hey, I love your work, I would love to send you some poses. I would love to send you some poses of me, if you would like to, use pose trade. Thank you. I'm trying to find the damn word. Pose trade. So you send them, sexy shots of yourself in order to get sexy images of yourself, and they get to put it on their Twitter. They tag you, you tag them back. It's mutual love, but it's also you get art. Now, some people will do this for free. Some people will ask you to commission them. It really depends on who you're getting. The art doesn't have to be like, oh my god, the perfect thing ever, to still be very usable for your niche. Let's see here. All right, so you want to charge commissions for your website, Tamara? You absolutely should charge for your smut, 100%. Choose a platform that sells stories, and I would say either sell them through there, or Erotifix, I believe, will do custom content. And
Erotifix. Take payment through Erotifix.
Yeah, take payment through Erotifix. They're really great. Also for that panty site, or the panty site exchanges, GP or 2020. They find people through there, take your payment through Erotifix. They'll take their percentage, but that means that you're not using Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, all those things that can reveal your address or your real name. I'll tell you a personal story of many, I guess. I was doing some performance, and I had a gentleman who really wanted me to be his sugar baby, his digital sugar baby, I should say. And he's like, I want to pay you off the site. And I, being very young and naive, was like, oh, and didn't listen to Lotus, said, okay. And so I set up a Cash App, and I made sure it had my character name. Now, you're not supposed to do character names on any of these sites. You're supposed to use your legal name. And so I was just like, okay, well, just in case, I'll use my character name and all this stuff. Oh, the Erotifix, I think, is...
I posted the...
Okay. So I went ahead... Oh, now I'm way too loud. So I sent him my Cash App link under the character name, and it revealed to him my quote-unquote real name, because I left it as at my stage name, and then I just put in a other name as my real name, and he saw the real name. And I went, oh no, I'm so sorry. You're not supposed to see that. And he's like, oh, you should get that fixed, eh? And I'm just like, oh shit. So I've never used Cash App again. I got
freeze your funds.
They can also freeze your funds. The PayPal is notorious for this. PayPal, if they suspect you're doing sex work, just suspect it, they will freeze your motherfucking account, and you will never see that money. Ever. You'll fight legal battles for years and years if you want to see that money. And they'll just never, in general, they'll never give it back. That's the reason why, and this is again, I use a bank, or I currently use a bank. I'm going to switch banks, but I currently use a bank that is also known to treat sex workers badly. And I've been with this bank for a long ass time, well before I got into this work. And so I had the account with them, but I'm like, if they suspect I am doing sex work, even digital sex work, I don't trust them. I don't trust them to keep, not take all my money. And this is where my day job is depositing money. So I created another bank account and listed my job as actress. And so, yeah, that is what I did. And that's worked really well. Would I say that a bank is a well? Would you say that bank is a well? I'm so confused. So confused, Althena.
She's asking if Wells Fargo is the.
No. It's almost as if that bank stinks of BOA. So yeah, Corrine, yes, erotifix.
I posted it up. Just let her know it's in the chat.
Corrine, it's in the chat. Type of function. Okay, everybody's talking about banks. I don't know if I would recommend the one that I switched to. It's a very niche bank. I'm probably going to switch over to a credit union in the state that I'm now living in, because both banks that I had were both back in Texas, because that's where I'm from. Oh, Althena said they didn't see the link to Erotifix. So many things. I will say, coming from an audio background, in terms of lots and lots of phone sex, switching over to camming at the beginning of the year to build the BBW Apple Tarts brand and character was very interesting. So if you're going to do camming, I made lots of friends in that neck of the woods. So Tamara, I'm speaking. It's Lotus who's doing the moderation right now. I don't know. No. Let's see here. Ah, there you go. Now you're a moderator.
You'll have to show me how to do that later.
I will. So now I think you can post the link, because I don't think it actually posted in chat. I now have power, fear me. So going from a phone background to a camming background was surprising, to say the least. I fell into a group of very nice cam girls, or cam models rather, and the cam models were very supportive of me. A lot of them were newbies too, so we all kind of grew together, and they were taken aback by my background. Because what I would do is I would interact with every person who came into my room, or into my public cam room, and then I would take tips for a variety of things, but one of the tips that I took was to tell a dirty story. And once my customer base learned what telling a dirty story meant, I suddenly got to tell a lot more dirty stories, because phone sex teaches you how to tell a real good dirty yarn. So it did net me a lot of money very quickly as a not a phone sex operator, as a cam girl, because my first month of doing camming, I made $1,200, which is a lot for your first month of camming part-time. And so Michelle asked, do I need a P.O. box for my character's Amazon wish list? That is definitely a Lotus question. There are several ways that you can do it. I would not recommend a P.O. box. USPS is not great, but UPS, United Postal Service, or is it United Postal Service? Is that what UPS stands for? Whatever. UPS boxes are way more secure in that sense, because instead of just putting down your name, you can also put down the name of a this. I hope this doesn't like get out anywhere, but basically, theoretically, you could take your character name and say, my character name Sally Smith is my daughter, and she's 10 years old but wants to get mail from grandma, so can I put her on my UPS box? And they usually have like zero problem with that. And so your character, again, this would be the name that you get mail under from your Amazon wish list. So you can be Mean MILF Mallory, but your real name
Mallory Deprivato.
Your Mallory Deprivato. Your real name is, Sally Smith. And so if Amazon releases your private info, if Amazon just F's it up and releases your private info, which they have done on more than one occasion, then when that person goes to the UPS box and they are asking for the name of a minor, they got shut down super fucking hard. And Michelle, absolutely. Buying the lighting yourself, getting it set up really well is wonderful. I didn't start with camming. I started on phones, and so I've slowly had people buy me things. So I haven't had to spend a lot of money on my own equipment. It's been really nice. And to add, one of the questions was, do I show my face for cam work? Yes. You do not absolutely have to for cam work, but I do. I have since quit my government job, but I do go ahead and take that extra risk and show my face during cam. It does mean that I have to do makeup. Not a lot of makeup, but makeup. And I've decided that I am okay showing my entire body and doing lots of things for my thing, for my audience. And Michelle, absolutely, if you want your subscribers to buy it for you, they absolutely will if you get some good traction, 100%. Oh, bless you, Lotus, bless you. So how do I promote my audio clips? So Latoya, I use Gone Wild Audio. I put out certain things. I say I do custom commissions. I also promote it depending on what I do for my live performances on phones, because I do phone sex as well still. And I will say, oh, if you really like this performance, thank you, or not performance, God no, I don't say that on the phone. But what I will do is on my listing, on my advertisement for my live phone sex, I will specifically put buttons that say buy my audios, and it will take them to my audios and then go from there. And so, yeah, Lotus, who's posting as the moderator BBW Apple Tarts, is absolutely right. After each call, if you make a recording summarizing that call, because, oh my God, I have gotten so many strange and interesting phone calls that have led to some really good recordings. Like, I have a sneezing fetishist who calls me and and so the sneezing fetishist calls me, and we do like a 20-minute long session, and then after I'm done sneezing for him, I'm like, you know what? I will make him a special good night sneezing audio recording. And so I popped that up to him. I sent it to him directly. I'm like, oh, here, buy this for $5 or whatever. And it's like a 3-minute good night with a sneeze or two in it. And so then I posted it for sale for like $4 or $5, and it sold. a sneezing goodnight video sold. And I'm just like, I'm flabbergasted, but it worked really well. How do you protect your voices, Althena? Number 1, don't talk as loud as I'm talking for as long as I've been talking. Number 2, ask Lotus to bring you water. Please bring me water, babe. Number 3, oh my god.
Oh my god.
She's crawling on her knees to me with a giant jug of water.
Okay, my knees aren't good enough to do that.
Thank you, my dear. So lots and lots of liquid. Sparkling waters help a lot. I know it's going to cause a lot of bathroom trips, but I think Lotus has given her tips for how to deal with that by peeing on the side of the tub. Yeah, I know, that's really weird. Let's see here. Cough drops, sparkling water, resting your voice as much as you can in between things, using a softer voice on the phone, not that Soto voice that Lotus does. So,
That's brutal.
That's effing terrifying, because it's like, I just want to be yours. Very Marilyn Monroe. And I can't do that. Now,
I can go a lot longer if I'm in a recliner back. I don't know if they could hear
that. Lotus was saying that she can go a lot longer if she's in a recliner laid back while doing that voice. So 2000, Amazon is not the only game in town when it comes to wish lists. It is not great if you want to stay anonymous. I would definitely suggest not using your personal Amazon. You want to create like a character Amazon under a different naming, under your character name if you're going to use it. We are evaluating a couple of different wish list sites to see how great they are. There are other methods of shipping, there's a service called Ship to Me, either Ship It To Me or Ship to Me, that gives you a new address that you put in, and then they will ship everything to you at a cost. And so, yeah, we're evaluating some wish lists. Pouring with altitude is, yes, recording first thing in the morning is really great for husky voice. It's just really great in general, because you start your day, number 1, recording content, and number 2, it's so words. I have words.
It starts the bedroom voice.
It starts the bedroom voice, which is what you're saying, that husky bedroom voice.
I'm gonna come over it and say something.
Please, God, rescue me.
Let me find your words. Gonna be goofy as fuck.
Hello. So, when you have an orgasm, it actually changes the blood flow patterns in your body. It makes your lips redder, which is why red lipstick gets way more conversions. If you're taking photos, use red lipstick, not pink, not nudes, red lipstick. It actually increases blood flow to your fingers and toe tips, which is why red nail polish works, and it changes the blood flow patterns in your throat. So if you want to sound like you've just come so many times, do it first thing in the morning.
I'm making faces. Oh, we love you so much. Sorry, there's a little lag, but it's showing the video, and so I'm watching her face in the video, and I'm watching my face in the video, and I love watching myself. It makes editing content so much easier. The fact that I actually like listening to myself, and I love watching myself, and I'm watching these 3-hour-long videos of me camming, because I record the entire show to cut it up into pieces, and oh my god, it's just like, oh, I'm so hot. Oh shit, I need to cut that into a piece so that way I can sell it, kind of thing. And, aw, Haitian Queen, thank you. We love you too. We love you too. All right, but seriously, we've been going for a little more than 2 hours now. What questions do you have any other questions? Do you want me to grab Lotus back? Or is Lotus happy on the couch?
Oh, no, I'll come back. I've gotten my break.
So yeah, Lotus doesn't like listening to her voice. I love listening to my voice. Yes, absolutely, Tamara. Doing audio and writing will be enough to actually make bank. When I was doing exclusively audio, not cam work, exclusively audio, with some audio recordings. Mostly I just did live, part-time while working at the day job. So I was working evenings. I was easily pulling in grand and a half a month. My best month ever, I made $3,000. I made $3,000 in a month, because it was January and I had some holidays off, so I got to work some extra days. It wasn't any. It was really, really nice, to be perfectly honest. So that was part-time audio. Full-time audio, if you're doing it, oh heck yeah. What software are you using for cutting clips? I am still learning Adobe Premiere. So but I've got a student account, so it doesn't cost me anything. Adobe Premiere costs way too much when you don't have a student account. But there are other free editing softwares that I've used besides that. Whose names I cannot remember off the top of my head. I'm terrible at this. Huh? DaVinci. DaVinci's a good one. So, Haitian Queen, do I have any tips for getting started for audio only? So the thing you should absolutely do, 100% absolutely do, is get Audacity. Audacity is the free open source software that helps you edit your audios. You can put it on your computer and, just do your audio recordings through there. Get yourself a mic, a headset, anything like that. Don't spend a lot of money. Don't spend the money until you're making that money. That is my motto. It is very, very important to us that you don't need a separate money. You do not need a separate phone number, Corrine, for phone sex, because the platforms are very, very good at keeping that safe. But if you want to, you can get a Google number. I just use my cell. I just use my direct cell number. I feel it works better. I've had some issues with platforms and Google numbers. If you've got a landline, which I know practically no one does, but if you've got a landline, that works really well, because cell phones do have a tendency of dropping every once in a while. But yeah, that's where you do it. Answering questions. I can do this. So I do coaching with Lotus. I'm working on the coaching page to have people sign up. So if you want to coach with both of us, right now we're in the same city, so that works really well. So if we want to do panty, shoe, etc. selling, how does that work with your paid service?
We set up the accounts, but we don't have a good way of updating your listings.
Exactly. So you probably didn't hear that, especially over the air conditioner. Basically, we will set up your accounts. We will get you the logins to the panty sites, but we don't have a good way of uploading your content to those sites other than like your photos, your video sets, that sort of digital sales. The physical goods sales, you're still going to have to monitor across the panty sites. So let's see here. How much is the coaching? Tamara, we do group coaching twice a week for a $40 2-hour session. It's very similar to this, except you're all, on not a Zoom call, but you're all on a Zoho call with us, and so we get to see your shining faces should you wish to show them. You do not have to, but we hear your voices, you hear our voices, and it's much. It's very similar to this, except $40 and very much individualized for everyone. Yeah, and Lotus is doing this just right. Keep all the receipts, and your financial accountant will help you take it off the top. Let's see here. So if you're doing primarily the panties, the shoes, and all that selling, I would honestly say, if you want to do some extra stuff besides that, have us make your accounts, and then you handle the accounts for the panty sales. Tamara, the sign up for the coaching. There's one-on-one coaching, which is an hour with Lotus and I for $120. And there is the group coaching twice a week on Thursdays and Fridays evenings, and that's $40, and that is all on the website. If you would drop the link. So Lotus will drop the link in the chat momentarily. And the group coaching session is capped at 25. We may drop that lower, but right now that is capped at 25. We've rarely had more than 15 people at a time.
And this is a pretty low, we didn't really promote this live. Last time we did a live, there were 2.
Yeah, so this is
a lot more individual question answer than usual.
This is very true. So as we really need to put the mic up here too. So this is very much like a group coaching session. This is not our typical live. We did not well advertise this live. Sometimes there's up to 200 people in the room, and so it's really hard to keep up with all the comments. In a setting where we're all hearing each other, all talking back and forth, it's much easier to get that individual attention, get all your questions answered. So let's see here. Gosh, bless. There's so many questions. You've got the sign up for the coaching, and Lotus posted the website. A good amount of content to do weekly. Do as much content as you can. Do as much of the passive income as you can. It takes a while to build up your catalog, but it's really, really great. Corrine, do you think it's possible to do this all via iPad, or is phone advisable? I have never tried doing it from a tablet alone because I'm not super. Number one, I don't really have a tablet. I've had a couple in the past that did not last long because I'm a klutz. But if you can easily take calls from your tablet, sure. But generally speaking, it's good to have a phone to do the actual live performances with if you're doing live audio. But otherwise, as Lotus is saying, you can do it with that, especially the photos and the audio recordings. So, yeah. But I always like PC and phone to kind of combine. Ooh, other thing. Save your content. A lot of OnlyFans girls are having a huge problem because OnlyFans, once you put your content into their vault, do not let you download again. They don't. They absolutely, even though they, because I'm on OnlyFans as well, even though they have the content, you uploaded it to them, they won't let you take it back. And so, and also watermarks everything. And so a lot of OnlyFans girls, especially those with huge content catalogs, are running into the problem that they've deleted all of those things and weren't able to get them back. And so they're having to redo a lot of their content, which is awful. So save everything that you do. Save it on your computer, save it in a cloud service that you do not share, because Google has been known to shut down sex workers who keep their content up there if they share it to a lot of people. And
Dropbox too. I had all of my audio library on Dropbox. Somebody got into it and started sharing the files.
Oh.
And they deleted probably 500 hours of recordings, and I didn't have any other backups.
Yeah.
Go ahead and repeat that.
So Lotus was saying that she used Dropbox. Somebody got the Dropbox link and started sharing it around. And so Dropbox went, oh no. And so she lost 500 hours of recordings with no backups. And so all of my video, all of my audio, all of it, I have it on a cloud that I never share. I have it on in this case, a 4 terabyte hard drive that I bought off, Amazon. And then I also keep it on my computer. So I would definitely recommend backup. Have it on your computer, have it on your hard drive, have it on an external hard drive, have it in the cloud. That way, if something goes wrong, you have a backup. It is so important, because when a service goes down, like OnlyFans basically decided to go, fuck you, because apparently I won't throw the bird at you lovely people. When they go, fuck you, and suddenly you lose all your content, it really sucks. It just really, really sucks. So, and that's what we do. Oh, what else we got? So yeah, separate drive for these things. Tamara, excellent way to go. What else we got? Aw, Em, you are very, very welcome. And it can be like drinking from a fire hose. We want to make this easier, or as easy as possible for people getting into this, because we've fucking been there. So the website kind of goes, the website, which is very, very pretty now, I think, send me compliments, goes into my story, but I ran into a situation where a dear friend of mine got diagnosed with brain cancer. And he was very near and dear to my heart, and he had missed a ton of work, and because he was sick and we didn't know what was going on, and he got fired and lost his health insurance, and then we found out what was going on and tried to raise a lot of money, and we couldn't raise it all. And so I took my credit cards and basically just put his surgery on that. And I'm sorry, I'm so verklempt. But I put his surgery on that, and it put me in a lot of debt. And Lotus got me started so I could do this. And I got myself out of debt. And it's amazing. And so, yeah. So yeah, no, I'm catching up on, sorry, I'm catching up on the chat now. Corrine, what do you need? You do have a couple of things. Give me your couple of things so I can just like get off this topic. You were diagnosed with brain seizures. Oh, I'm so sorry. And that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense, Green, and that is what we're here for, to make sure that you can. And so yeah.
Let me take over.
Yeah, please, God, take over for me.
Okay, I'll tell my story.
You'll tell your story, and then
we'll get a clip from that, though, posting on the website. Okay. A fucking testimonial.
All right. I am back. Yes, my skincare routine. I don't have my jars of stuff out. So I will tell you a little bit about how I got started doing adult phone work. My mother is undiagnosed narcissistic personality disorder, definitely borderline personality disorder mixed in there. And she treated me like her greatest rival. And so every time things went well in my life, and it took me a long time to figure out it was deliberate, she would sabotage me. So my mom, my senior year of college, in 2000, entering the 2008 school year, 2007-2008, I asked her if she filed her taxes, and she said she did that in February. She didn't file her taxes at all that year. So I call up from the student aid, financial aid office, near hysterical. And these are people who I had interacted with as a professional. So I showed up, I was an older student, and I started a student club where all of the first generation college students would get together and apply for scholarships. Right? So these were people that, like, I wanted them to treat me as an adult and a professional peer. So they call my mom up because I had gotten all of my need-based financial aid pulled because they did not have any tax records. It was over $30,000 in financial aid because a lot of my financial aid was based on the fact that my parents were very low income. So it is 2 weeks before semester starts, and we call my mom from the office, and I'm near tears trying to figure out how I'm going to manage this. And she laughs and says, "You're a smart girl. You'll figure it out. I'm not filing my taxes." And I was like, "I will pay you. I will pay you $100. All the money I have in my account right now. I will pay you to file your taxes. I will pay." And she's like, "Well, I didn't make any money, so how am I supposed to file it? I didn't have anything." And I'm like, "You put a 0 in the form. I will pay to overnight it. I will do anything." And she literally laughed at me and hung up the phone. And the head of financial aid said in 20 years he had never seen anything like that. I was living in the dorms. So this move not only got me kicked out of college my senior year, right as the 2008 stock market crash happened, I was living in Texas, in rural Texas, and I had no car. And since I was living in the dorms, it made me homeless. And I was sneaking into the church on campus to sleep because they never locked the doors. I was eating out of dumpsters. My ex-boyfriend got me an apartment off campus. Paid my first month and used his credit to get me to get me a place to live. He did not realize I was homeless. I was still trying to protect my mom at the time, so I told him that the dorms were overfull, and so he did that because he is just a brilliant and amazing human being. He completely saved me. He lent me his car. He only had one, so he went without a car in Texas for the entire summer so that I could get around. And I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do because I couldn't even get $30,000 in more loans because I had maxed out my loans. And one of my friends was like, "What the fuck are you doing struggling? Get off the struggle bus. You're a bad bitch." And we met because I was going to BDSM parties. And so I would show up at these parties and fucking beat the hell out of people and laugh and have a great time. And she's like, "They fucking pay for it." So she got me set up on Night Flirt. And this is part of why I have set over 200 women up on Night Flirt. And I've been accused of being a pimp, but I'm the worst pimp on earth because I've given people their first listing fees, and I've spent thousands of my own money getting people set up on Night Flirt. So she's like, "Just get on fucking Night Flirt." So I got on Night Flirt, and my first call, I made $500 or $700. I basically paid my entire rent on a 7-minute call. The guy wanted me to raise the rates and laugh at him, so he never called me back. I wish he would have. But I basically, I made that much money on my first call. And so I was hooked. I had complete financial independence. I literally went from sneaking into a church to sleep and eating out of a dumpster and not knowing what the hell I was going to do or where I was going to go or what was going to happen to me. Because it's not like I had a safety net. It's not like I could move back home. And my mom knew that. To being completely financially sufficient in a week. And I screwed up every single way it's possible to screw up. I met people off platform. I was like, oh, this guy seems nice. Maybe I'll date him in real life. Oh, no, always a mistake. Always a mistake. Never do that. I took money on PayPal. I did all sorts of shit that was just dumb and dangerous. Queen, you can actually set yourself up as a college student. And one of the things I did was one of my characters is in graduate school. And I would literally send a receipt with how much all of my textbooks cost to everybody and say, pay for my books. And I would make enough money to pay for all of my books. Because, I mean, fucking hell. $200 single semester textbook. It's brutal. Phone sex has let me buy. I'm now on my third house that I've owned. I'm the only person in my family who's ever owned a brand new car. My wife had a mystery illness. It took us 12 years to get a diagnosis. And when she was sick and I couldn't hold down a regular job because I had 2 kids at home, and I was having to drive her to 3 and 4 doctor visits a week, and Texas was a right to work state, so I would get fired. Because, everybody loves their veterans until they get sick. I was able to keep body and soul together. So, Queen, when you're doing the sort of thing where you're sending out, I do it with makeup and shoes. When you send something out to everybody, you need to have a pretty big customer base to make that really work. But you absolutely can do it. And you can make yourself a character that is a college student. You can absolutely do that. So that's how I got started. That's how I got my start. And, I went from homeless to living in this little student place that my ex got me to living in a luxury apartment with a brand new car, great credit, completely taking care of myself, and to being able to take care of my family when literally nothing else would have made the money I needed to take care of my kids. So, that's why I'm so passionate about helping women get started in this, because it saved. I don't know what would have happened if my friend hadn't. She literally sat me down and forced me on her laptop to make an account. I was crying. I was like, I can't do it. And she was just like, don't stop being such a bitch. So, one of my very, very good friends found out she was pregnant when she was in labor, and her husband left her over it, actually kicked her out. And the baby was extremely premature. So the baby was 4 pounds or under 4 pounds. She almost died. She was in the intensive care for 3-4 weeks. The baby was in intensive care for 4 weeks. And she ended up having to couch surf after she got out of the hospital. And the kid has some learning disability issues, as is common with very small preemies. She has been able to be a full-time stay-at-home homeschooling mother for an educationally disadvantaged child and be a primary, the only breadwinner in the house. She has made enough money that she has been able to buy. She's now in the second house. She has a gorgeous 3-acre yard. She has pet goats. And she's been able to make it all happen because of adult performance over the phone. She doesn't have the drive to make the big money. She's never going to be a $10,000 a month girl, but she's got everything that she needs to take care of herself and her daughter. And that's all from adult work. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why I want to help new people get started and make money and be safe. That's why Apple is so passionate about this. We really think that we can change regular people's lives who are stuck in an amazing way that if without the guidance. Like if I hadn't had my friend, if Apple hadn't had me, we wouldn't have been able to get out of the situations we were in. You know, and this industry is a landmine, and it can freaking destroy your soul. It can destroy your soul, and you'll make no money. So I want to help make sure that everybody has as good of an experience as possible, because this isn't for everybody. I mean, a lot of the people in the beta, they signed up, they got their accounts, they did it for a couple of weeks. It wasn't for them, and that's fine. At least they had the chance to try it. What goals do I have for myself and my work? I would like to get Mean MILF Mallory to $10,000 a month recurring revenue. And I want to get Spicy even larger than that. I am starting Mean MILF over from complete scratch so I can document the entire process and like take screenshots of like what I'm doing. And I'll be honest, I had some issues with making a lot of money. I was dealing with them in therapy. My mom was, Em, you mentioned you have narc parents. My mom was big into financial abuse. My first company I started when I was 17. I've had people tell me I'm a liar for this, by the way. My first company I started when I was 17, so my parents weren't on my paperwork. And my first month I made $30,000. My second month I made $60,000, and my third month I made $90,000. And my mom embezzled all my working capital out of my company, so I had to close it. So when I start making over a certain amount of money, I tend to panic. So I never was the $10,000 a month girl. Like that wasn't me. I would start hitting $4,000 or $5,000 a month, and I would just not log into any of my lines and not email my customers back for a couple of weeks. So I've had a lot of therapy, and I think I can definitely hit that now that I know what I'm doing, both from the adult performance side and the business side. And I want to show people a step-by-step, repeatable guide for how to do that. Because $10,000 a month would change pretty much everybody here's life. Especially if, you know, 8,000 of it is recurring passive income. So those are the goals that I have for myself and my work right now, because I can make, I can make the money on my own, but it does not give me the joy or the satisfaction or the fulfillment of knowing I'm doing something impactful. So, somebody please ask me a question before I correct. That would be great.
We have been at this for almost 3 hours.
Okay, we've been at this for almost 3 hours. I'm going to take my bestie and we're going to get some diner food. Before we wrap up, any other questions before we go? My favorite dino. It's got to be the T-Rex. I was obsessed with them as a kid, and I spent every day one summer at the Natural History Museum with my nose pressed up against the glass. This was in Denver when they had just found the Littleton T-Rex skeleton. And the paleontologist noticed me and my brother there every day, like nose pressed against the screen. Queen, buy content or use a non-face photo. Corrine, there is a video on choosing a stage name. It's also in the Getting Started guide. So favorite dinosaur. So basically after 3 months of watching us obsessively watch them take the T-Rex skull out of the plaster, they invited my brother and I back behind, and we were allowed to help them clean up the T-Rex skull with acetone. It was amazing. Tamara, that is the Getting Started guide. You get that when you purchase a product, and we're also starting to do a weekly conference call for people who are just getting started. Okay, so my favorite dessert, apple pie. I'm addicted to apples.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and to reach Apple, go to the website, go to education, click on Ask Apple. There is a form there. No, but I will give you guys my skincare routine now. Let me get my stuff. Because it's quick. Is it quick? Do you have it? Yeah, it's quick. Okay. Okay. Everybody's safe here. Okay. I'm not going to get the bottles. So here's what you're going to want. You're going to want to buy the red box of Stridex anti-acne pads. It is like $4 or less. You can get it at Walmart and every grocery store. Tamara, you should have gotten an email with the Getting Started Guide. If you did not get an email with the Getting Started Guide, we have had email problems. Contact Apple. She'll make sure you get hooked up. The next thing you're going to want to get the Planet Eden Glylactic pads. They are the glycolic acid, lactic acid pads. Start with the smallest one. Those are like $13. Okay. You want to use the salicylic acid daily if your skin can take it. And you're going to want to get the, start it like 3 times a week with the glylactic acid and then slowly work your way up. Because it does take your skin a little bit of time to get used to it. You can also get amlactin lotion, which is lactic acid lotion. And that will, if you do that, you will end up with like amazing baby soft, acne-free, photo perfect skin, because glycolic, lactic, and salicylic acids all do different good things for your skin. So the salicylic acid helps clear out your pores. The glycolic acid helps get rid of all the ashiness. The lactic acid is a gentler acid. So if your body starts being unhappy with the others, you can use that. I will also buy the ordinary BHA peel and use that as a body peel because it's only like $8. So using a single bottle and just doing that all over is great. And that just makes your skin velvety smooth and super photo ready. And gets rid of all backney and buttney. Gets rid of all of the body acne that might be giving you problems. I have not been doing it super regularly this last month. I've been taking content. Ash writes lots. How do you use sandpaper for shaving? 10 circles clockwise, 10 circles counterclockwise, move up, 10 circles clockwise, 10 circles counterclockwise, move up. And you do that up and down, and then you go over it again, up and down, if you have anything left. Even if you don't use it for shaving, it should make the hair a lot softer. You don't need to use a lot of pressure, just light pressure.
I'm literally doing it right now.
Apple is trying it for the first time right now.
That is so weird. Because I've got really hairy legs, y'all. Which I don't want to keep doing this because I sell myself as a hairy BBW.
Pamela, not everybody who's on Patreon was on the beta. The sandpaper you want is 400 grit wet dry sandpaper. You can buy this like giant packet of like 100 sheets for $11 on Amazon. And Apple was just trying it and it worked, and she actually makes a lot of money selling herself as a hairy BBW. So she can't keep going, but she was fascinated by the process. And there's probably other tutorials on doing it too. It was something that was actually started to help with the metal shortage because there weren't enough razor blades during World War II. All right, and remember, if you're taking self photos, red lips, red nails. For all of your profile pictures. It makes a huge difference in your conversions. Last chance before I go and take my bestie for food. Oh, yeah. If you spend enough time in Kinkland, you like end up in the hardware store a lot for things that they're just like, oh, what are you building? And you're just like, A thing. Yeah, I do the exfoliation. I do the sandpaper because I have some skin issues and I can't really do a ton of with razors. I have to be really, really careful. So if I nick myself, I will end up with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation for like 2 years. All right. I'm loving the love. I'm living for it. Yes, validate my work. I spent 3 months toiling, making screenshots and arguing with customer service representatives on platforms. Yeah, like I have hang on a sec.
Oh my god.
Is this showing up?
Ow!
Ow!
Why did you do that?
Okay, I don't know if you saw the purple mark over my ankle, but that was an ant bite from literally 3 years ago. It's never going away.
Alright, moving on. Bye!
Moving on. We love you guys. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see it, that purple mark on my leg. The little dot, yeah. Ant bite 3 freaking years ago, and I still have it. So if I ever nick myself shaving, I have to deal with a big purple mark on my leg for like 2 years. Same with acne. I end up with the purple marks that just last forever. Okay.
Leaving. Bye.
We're leaving. Apple's hungry. I love you guys. Bye. We believe in you.